radical overhaul of this roster, and all of that starts with a couple of transfers. Isaac Jones came from the junior college ranks. He's averaging 18.7 boards, and he's shooting 72%. That's not even a number, 72% from the field as he's getting things going. For Bobcat fans, he's very similar to Great Alcibar from a player standpoint. A lot of up fakes and movement, great footwork in the post, pretty athletic and finishes around the rim. He's a big guy. The other kid they've got is the Moffitt kid who transferred from Seattle Pacific. He was a D2 player, all-conference player at the D2 level. He's averaging 17 points, 6 assists a game, leads a Big Sky Conference in assists. Big-time driver, gets in the paint and everything else, but he's at the point guard spot, and those two guys have radically changed his team. They've got a freshman named Burris who came from Archbishop Mitty down in San Francisco. He's averaging 10 and 5. He's shooting 51% from three. So this is a team that's totally been remade. They are an offensive juggernaut compared to a team a year ago that couldn't score if you left them in the gym by themselves all night.
Now, okay, so yes, they've got these great statistical numbers. How difficult has this non-conference schedule been for them? They did come off a very close loss against Long Beach State in their last game right before the break. Yeah,
the non-conference schedule isn't great, frankly, but 10 new guys getting things figured out, and the most important thing is that they played well lately. They beat Northwest Indian College just like we did. They scored 150. We only scored 144, so I don't know. But you know, even down in California, their last two games, they come from behind to beat Cal State Northridge in a late buzzer beater. Then they started terrible against Long Beach State. They were down 22 points in the first half, and that game came down to the last second shot as well. So this is just a team that's playing better. I'm super excited to see the matchups at the point guard spot and in the low post and just see how that matches up, because this is a big test for Idaho too. They're playing the defending champ. They're playing the defending Big Sky Conference Player of the Year in Jabril Bello. All things that have to happen. The other side, just personally, is Zach Claus, the head coach at Idaho, played for me when I was coaching at Eastern Washington in the late 90s. So a lot of things going on here. Excited to see how this plays out. It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, you're right. This is a huge, big-time measuring stick for Idaho, right? They're trying to figure out who they are. They get the opportunity to go on the road at the reigning champs, and they're going to kind of say, hey, look, we had a really nice non-conference. We're feeling good about things. Numbers look great, but this is it. Now they're going to kind of find out what they are against Montana State. So this is exciting, and for the Cats, I mean, look, you're trying to repeat as conference champions. You first of all got to take care of the home floor, where Montana State has been successful. They've won 13 straight games here, 2 more to tie the program record, which is crazy when you consider both the football team and now the basketball team are, you know, in that range where football's got the longest home winning streak, and the basketball team has a chance to get there this weekend against these two teams.
Yeah, and it's not going to be easy. Both Eastern Washington and Idaho have been playing well of late. Both are better teams than they were a year ago. The Bobcats can't rest on being champs. You know, they were champs last year. They got to go prove it again this year.
Yeah, and I think, you know, when you look at how this team is built, what they have gone through, talking about Montana State in the non-conference, like, they have seen everything, right? They are battle-tested. They have dealt with foul trouble. They have dealt with, you know, up and down officiating, which comes occasionally. They have been down big. They have been up big and lost leads. They have played elite, you know, Power 5 teams. They have played really good mid-majors. They've played every different style of basketball you could possibly imagine to this point, and I just can't think of a better way to get yourself ready to defend a title, because they have not cakewalked to this point.
100%. They've had a brutal schedule, in fact, and outside of the Northwest Indian College game, every game has been an absolute battle. I mean, the win at Southern Utah, when you lose Jabril Bello in the first half and come back to win that game the way they won that game, that's a catalyst. And then to come home and win 3, that's a catalyst. Go play Arizona really well for 30 minutes. That's a catalyst. And yeah, you got to build that momentum, and that really starts here this evening. They've got to get off to a good start and get this conference schedule going the way they want it to go.
Can't wait. All right, here we go. We're going to take a break, but when we get back, we will get to our Kendall Ford keys to the game as we get set for the Bobcats and the Vandals at Worthington Arena today. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Back of the pregame show, getting set for the Big Sky opener. Montana State and Idaho today. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside Brian Preby, and it's time now for our Kendall Ford keys to the game. All right, Brian, what do you want to see? What are some of the keys to this matchup between the Bobcats and the Vandals today?
Well, defensively, it all comes down to what we call in the business KYP, know your personnel. Montana State has got to do a great job understanding that these Idaho's Vandal guys are very different on the offensive end. Moffitt, the new point guard, is a driver. You can let him shoot threes with a soft contest, but if you close out hard, he's going to score on you every single time. Sela, the two guard, he is a dead-eye shooter. If you're short on the closeout, he's going to knock down a shot. Smith, offensive rebounder. Burris, shooter. And Isaac Jones, you've got a guy on your roster who plays very similar. You've got to handle him that way and deal with that. So knowing personnel is critical to containing Idaho's offense. On the offensive end for the Bobcats, it's all about playing inside out. Got to get the ball inside on the post touch with Bello and Alcibar. You got to challenge Jones to guard. He's never been in foul trouble yet this season. How is he going to handle it if you get him there? He's not dealt with the size he's going to have to deal with, and he's a great guy to get in foul trouble. Outside of that, you got to drive it. That's part of your inside out. And then ultimately, you got to get on that offensive glass. Long Beach State beat Idaho a week ago because they killed them on the offensive glass. Bobcats got to get there and, again, establish that inside game.
Yeah, this matchup in the front court today is going to be a sight to behold between Isaac Jones and Jabril Bello. And what an impressive showing from Jones to just jump right into this level. And not a lot of people are, choosing to go from a JUCO out to Moscow and go play at Idaho, but he has certainly found a home. And man, just to be able to go into that transfer portal, find some guys that want to finish their careers like this, that's a huge boost for this Idaho program. And can't wait to see what they look like now that they're in Big Sky play.
Yeah, it's really funny because the transfer portal plays both ways, right? Like, you're going to lose some guys, but you also have an opportunity to go get some guys. And I think both these programs have taken great advantage of that over the last 2 seasons. For Zach Claus, he really needed to upgrade talent. So that was a big part of what he's doing. For Danny Sprinkle, he's able to replenish a point guard position with a couple guys out of that portal as well.
And of course, the biggest portal news today was that on the football side, Isaiah Fonse heading into the transfer portal. So certainly wishing him the best. Hopefully he ends up at a really big-time program somewhere special where he can really be on out in the spotlight. So certainly wishing Isaiah the best. All right, both teams lining up for the national anthem. We'll take a break. When we get back, we will have your first starting lineups of the Big Sky Conference season. It's Montana State and Idaho, the 121st meeting between the Bobcats and the Vandals coming up after this timeout. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield.
At this time, please stand and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be performed by Casey Crow. Thank you.
If Dean's not here, that chair's open. I don't know if you found yours. Yeah, okay, cool.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First, the visitors from Idaho.
And we are underway live from Worthington Arena. Our prime lending tip-off coming at the top of the hour, and we owe you a top of the hour ID, which we will get in just a moment. Idaho with the basketball to our right to begin the conference season. Moffitt with a long one-handed pass out to Rashad Smith on the right wing, looking for the post. Smith on the drive into the lane, got bumped, goes down, a whistle and a foul. Raekwon Battle picking up his first foul of the day.
Yeah, Smith got himself a little bit of an edge there with a quick crossover move. But what's interesting is on the post up there, Moffitt, the point guard for Idaho, they run a post up early to go and use his size. The Bobcats double team him, make him give it up.
Inbounds pass into Burris. He kicks it out to the top. And here is Devontae Moffitt, who played D2 basketball at Seattle Pacific University the last 4 years. He on the drive against Battle, pulls up and banks it off the window with a tough take right side of the lane. And Moffitt puts in the first 2 points, 2-0 Idaho.
And that's Moffitt's game. He's a driver, loves to get to the rim, going to shoot a lot of shots inside 15 feet.
And now Raekwon Battle has picked up his second foul running through a screen. Raekwon Battle picks up 2 quick fouls. Pat McMahon checking in quite quickly here. So Tyler Patterson not in the starting lineup today. And Nick Gonzalez getting the start, and now McMahon the first off the bench. 19:14 to go, first half. Idaho with the basketball. They lead 2-0, and Raekwon Battle in foul trouble in the first 60 seconds of the game. Moffitt guarded by Darius Brown, working his way inside into the middle of the lane, turns, floats it, good. Devontae Moffitt pouring in his first 2 shots of the day. He's got 17 a game, and he's got 4 in the early going today. 1 minute gone in the first half. Bello with his first touch, way out high over on the right elbow. Getting rid of it out to the left wing for Brown. Thrown to McMahon off a screen on the right elbow. Picks up the dribble, throws to Gonzalez left wing, fires into the post. Here's Bello backing down, turns, righty hook, off the heel of the iron, no good. And Nigel Burris has the rebound for Idaho. Moffitt into the front court. Idaho leading 4-0, 18.5 to go in the first. Moffitt crosses over into the lane, leaner, no. Rebound tipped, loose, fight for the loose ball, and Jabril Bello saves it with a dive to Gonzalez. Great hustle by Bello.
Really good hustle play. 3 Bobcats get on the floor for that loose ball. That's Big Sky play. You got to value every possession.
Into the right corner. McMahon pumps the 3, steps inside, outside the lane, tries a jumper. That's no good. And Idaho boxes out and grabs the rebound. Vandals up 4-0. 2 minutes gone in the first half. 121st meeting between these 2 teams. Caps have won 69 of them. Bounce pass down into the left baseline. Moffitt backing down in a post-up move against Brown, working his way into the lane. Hands it off to Jones on the right elbow. Facing up now, turns his back to the basket, turns right shoulder, nowhere to go. Double team, forces it up, that's short. Fuller got the rebound, great defense by Bello. Here's Brown down the left sideline into the front court for the Cats. Up to the top, and Montana State sets it up. Looking for the post. Lob down to the left block. Bello makes the catch and finishes with the left hand. Bello doing that early work. Finding positioning and able to finish smooth. Cats get on the board for the first time at about the 17.5 mark. We're in the first half rather. Idaho with the basketball. Toss up to the top. Hand off there. Over the left wing, Moffitt against Brown. Looking for the post. Gets it to Jones, down on the left sideline. Kicks it out to the top. Here's Burris to the elbow, and his long jumper is pure. Nigel Burris, 6'7", 222, and that was a smooth stroke from outside the left elbow. Montana State down 6-2, 16:45 to play in the first half. Bello throws over to Brown. He drives from the left wing, going to the rack, bounce along the baseline. Caught by Fuller, turns, hooks it up with the left hand, no. Got some contact, no call, and Idaho grabs the rebound. Vandals try to push. Cats get back defensively. Out on the left wing, Moffitt. Hands off for Burris. Ooh, almost traveled, but gets the ball down to the floor with the dribble. Now steps up for contested 2. That is no good off the front of the iron, and Montana State has the rebound. 6-2, Idaho leading. 16.25 to go in the first half. Here's McMahon to the left elbow. Kicks it back out, and the Cats reset the offense. Brown looking for the post. Throws to McMahon. Holding on the left wing. Back to Brown. Tries a deep right wing 3. Count it. Nothing but the bottom of the net from Darius Brown for the first long-range trigger of the day.
Really good possession there. They tried like crazy to get the ball into Bello. Keep putting pressure on Jones defensively. Eventually Brown just steps up and knocks down a long one.
Off it up at the top. Working with the dribble on the drive, going to the right block, pump fake, whistle, offensive foul. Use that extra arm to maybe push Brown off. Devontae Moffitt picks up his first foul, and we have our first Prime Lending timeout. Montana State trailing 6-5 against Idaho, 15:44 to go in the first half. Back to the First Interstate Bank broadcast position after this. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball from Learfield. It's a bare knuckles boxing match to start the Big Sky season. Montana State trailing 6-5 against Idaho, 15:44 to go in the first half. Let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Bobcat Basketball. I'm Keaton Galogly, sitting next to Brian Preby at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. John O'Connor is our producer back in the studios today. And for Montana State, down 6-5, 15:44 to go in the first half. Montana State basketball moving from right to left in the home white uniforms. Cats go to the bench. They've got Robert Ford, Sam Leckalot onto the floor, along with Great Osabor, Pat McMahon, and Nick Gazales, who got the start today. Out to the top. McMahon throws to Gazales, fires into the middle of the lane, bounce pass down to Osabor, and he rips the rim down with a two-hand jam. How about that ball movement? And the Cats pick up their first lead of the day.
Big possession there. Idaho comes out, plays a little 1-2-2 three-quarter court, then they drop back 2-3 zone.
Idaho with the basketball. They've got it out on the left wing. Youssef Salih lobs into the post, back out to Salih, triggers the left wing three, that is short. Offensive rebound by Burris, back up and a foul underneath on the shot, and Nigel Burris will go to the line as Tyler Patterson gets ready to check in. First foul on Robert Ford, and Nigel Burris beat out Sam Leckalot for that rebound. Leckalot really played beautifully at Arizona. He had some tremendous minutes against the Wildcats.
Yeah, he really did, and right there, he just a little late getting Burris blocked out. The one thing Idaho's really good at is getting on the offensive glass, and that's how you shoot over 50% is you get to the offensive glass all night long.
Idaho overall just plus 1.5 rebounds per game for Montana State. They're plus 5 rebounds per game. That is first in the conference. Next shot is up and good. So Burris puts both free throws in. The true freshman with 4 points in the early going. And now Tyler Patterson in for Gazales. Montana State down 8-7, 15 minutes to go in the first half. It's the Bobcats and the Vandals, and right now that front court matchup, it's Osabor against Jones. Ford throws up to the top for Leckalot. Bounce pass to Patterson. Fires into the post left side for Osabor. Back out to Patterson. Bad pass, it's taken away. Here comes Idaho from left to right. Trey Smith hands it off on the left wing to Moffitt, and Idaho sets it up off the turnover. Moffitt with a bounce, crossing over at the left elbow, working on Ford, gets to the Big Sky logo. That jumper is short, and Montana State gets the stop and the rebound. Ford out to the right wing, takes it to the top, bounce into the post left side. Osabor kicks it back out. Patterson, catch and shoot three, count it. Tyler Patterson pours it in on his first shot of the day.
Boy, maybe coming off the bench is the thing that Tyler needed just to relax a little bit. He'd had some struggles from three right there. That looked pure.
Shooting just 28% from three. He's a better shooter than that. Here's Moffitt on the drive. Righty layup. Got it to go. There's that slashing take by Devontae Moffitt, the fifth-year senior and the transfer from D2 Seattle Pacific University, where he averaged 19 points per game last season before the transfer. This game tied at 10 after his layup, and then Moffitt tips it out of bounds, and it'll stay with Montana State. 13:52 to go in the first half. This game tied at 10, Montana State basketball.
Probably a little bit slower pace than we expected. Thought this might be a game that got in the 70s or higher. 10-10, 6 minutes in. It's been much more deliberate.
Montana State with the ball to our left. Ford has it up at the top. Throws to Patterson off the screen. Turns, triggers the two, rattles it home. Tyler Patterson, quick 5 points off the bench. Today, the first day, he's coming off the bench. He had started the first 13 games of the year. Montana State up 12-10. 13:35 to go in the first half. Here's Moffitt into the lane. Tries a running jumper. That is short. Ford had the defense, and he rips down the rebound. Montana State into the front court. Ford takes it to the right elbow. Steps back. Here's a long two. In the air. No. Swirls off. And the rebound grabbed by Idaho. First miss in the last 5 shots for Montana State's offense. Moffitt to the free throw line. Picks up the dribble. Needs to get rid of it and does. Out to the left wing for Trey Smith. Smith to his right. Bounce pass into the post for Jones. His pass up top. Take it away. Robert Ford has the steal. Rushing in transition. Going to the cup. Lays it no, but draws the foul. Robert Ford with the steal. Really pushing the tempo. And he's able to draw the foul and will go to the line for a pair. Trey Smith's first.
And one thing you're seeing defensively is the Bobcats are going to double Jones on the touch. As soon as he catches it, it's coming. And right now he's trying to figure out what that looks like. He's got a turnover and a couple of questionable passes and no points for the Big Sky leading scorer currently.
Jones at 19 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 72% from the field. Free throw by Ford is no good. And Jones had transferred from Community College in Central Washington. He actually played 3 years there. He was the Conference Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, and a guy who had scored 25 points per game last season. So he certainly, Isaac Jones, knows how to score.
Yeah, he's a really, really good offensive player, but he's now going against some guys that have got 13 games of tape on him, have scouted him thoroughly, and have a game plan to go attack him specifically as the focal point of this Idaho offense.
Robert Ford lining up the second free throw, and this one is good. Free throw shooting for Montana State has been a little bit up and down this year. Ford splits that pair. First point for Robert Ford. Montana State up 13-10. 13 minutes to go in the first half. Great crowd today at Worthington Arena as well. Here's a pass, tip free by Ford. Battle for the loose ball. Osabor had it, and then Ford picks it up. Ford and Osabor kind of bumped into each other, pushed ahead. Patterson lines up the corner three. Way too strong. Bellow the board. One dribble, pump fake, back up. That's good. And one. Jabril Bellow the offensive rebound. He finishes through contact, and he's going to the line. First foul on Isaac Jones, and that was a big man bucket by Jabril Bellow. Isaac Jones bit hard on the pump fake.
Those early fouls on big guys are important. Keeping him honest is going to be big. Both Moffitt and Jones, Idaho's 2 main scorers, with a foul.
Free throw good for Jabril Bellow. He's got 5 points, and Raekwon Battle sitting on the bench with 2 personal fouls after him, 2 fouls in the first minute. Idaho with the basketball. Trey Smith into the lane, looking for space, has to get rid of it, bounces it up to the top for Dom Ford. Montana State up 16-10, 12:20 to go in the first half. Here's to Isaac Jones at the free throw line, pestered by Bellow, works his way into the lane, gets to the cup with a one-hand right-hand jam. Big time finish by Isaac Jones for his first bucket of the day.
Yeah, first time he's not had to face a double team. Catching the ball at the middle of the free throw line, hard to double in the middle of the court, gives him some space.
Osabor bounce into the post. Who thought that got kicked? Instead, Bellow makes the catch, lays it up with the left hand. That is no good. Oh, that was halfway down. A lot of contact, no call. They're really swallowing the whistles to open up Big Sky play. It's going both ways, but man, they're letting it be really physical right now. Jones Out of the elbow, turns around with a long two. That jumper is no good. And Darius Brown grabs the rebound for Montana State, leading 16-12. 11:30 to go in the first half. Fires into the post, and Bello finally draws the foul. This one on Isaac Jones, and that's his second. And that will take us to a foul. Great Osibor asking for a little more from the crowd. He gets it now as they go to the bench. 11:31 left in the first half. Montana State leading at 16-12 against Idaho. We're sitting at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, and this is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Know what's below. Tap, click, or call 811 before you dig. Brought to you by Montana811.org. We're sitting at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leading 16-12 against Idaho with 11:30 to go in the first half. And Brian, Isaac Jones has just picked up his second personal foul midway through this first half.
Yeah, and that's a big one for Idaho. They just don't have a lot of depth. They'll basically play four guards now with Burris at the 5. Burris is a 6'7", kind of 3-4 combo, so they're going to be really small. I'd expect a lot of zone now, so Bobcats are going to have to handle that.
Montana State very, very deep this year. Inbounds pass to Bello. He wanted to dunk it, couldn't corral it. Ball is loose, and Idaho picks it up, forcing the turnover. Vandals from left to right in the road, black uniforms, and they take it into the front court now. They wear black, they have some silver, and what they call Vandal gold. Toss up to the top, wrapped around over to the left wing for Ford. Back up to the top of the key. Moffitt with the bounce, looking to get rid of it. Moves his way down to the right block, one-on-one against Brown. Moffitt backing down, fall away Jay. That is no good. And the rebound is grabbed by Darius Brown. 12 minutes to go in the first half, and we've got a foul underneath. Great Osibor drawing the foul against Nigel Burris. So Burris picks up his first. Devontae Moffitt has one. Isaac Jones has two. So the foul trouble is starting to creep up for Idaho, even though this is a game the officials have let a lot go.
Yeah, just where the fouls have gone have been to their key guys right now, which is obviously a tough deal.
Inbounds pass to Patterson. His left corner three. Too strong, no good. Idaho grabs the rebound. Montana State 2 of 4 from downtown to begin the evening. Cats up 16-12. 10:45 to play in the first half. Here's the drive by Salih. Gets in the lane, spins, floats. No, but Ford picks up the foul, and that'll be his second. So Yusef Salih will go to the line, the sophomore from Virginia, coming off an 18-point performance against Long Beach State where he knocked down 5 threes, and now he goes to the stripe.
And generally, Salih has been a guy that's been much more, 80% of his shots have been from behind the arc. So he's not putting it on the deck all the time. Right there, he got Robert Ford on his hip and was able to draw contact and get himself some shots.
First free throw's no good. Real milk is a nutrient-rich product. It contains 13 essential nutrients from vitamin A to zinc, all of which are important for a healthy immune system and overall wellness. That's 13 nutrients with seemingly endless benefits. Reach for milk and make every sip count. His second free throw's no good. He missed them both. Idaho did miss a couple of free throws late in their game against Long Beach State, and that did hurt them in a tight contest. Patterson out of the right wing with the basketball for Montana State. Cats up 16-12, 10:20 to go in the first half. Brown weaving inside, throws it to the free throw line for Bello, fires into the post. Osabor spins, lefty hook, and that's good. Osabor lays it in off the assist from Jabril Bello.
Yeah, when Jones on the bench, Bobcats have just a massive advantage on the front line. Their ability to get inside and score in there right now is going to be important during this stretch.
Osabor and Bello in that front court for the Cats. Here's Moffitt breaking it down, nowhere to go. Throws out to the right wing. Harge has nowhere to go. He tosses it up to the top for Salee. 6 to shoot, out to the right wing. Smith has it. 5 to shoot. Smith down to the right baseline, turns around, fall away. Jay drains it in. Trey Smith, tough bucket on the right baseline from about 18 feet out. Montana State with the ball, leading 18-14, 9:35 to go in the first half. Brown out near the cat head logo near half court. Out to the left wing for Pat McMahon. Looking for the post and a foul underneath. Jabril Bello got popped and a foul charge to John Harge. That's Harge's first.
That's 16 fouls, so now Idaho's going to be giving the Bobcats free throws every time. It's just going to be really hard for Idaho to guard in the paint with the size of players that are going against Bello and Osabor. Right now, Zach Claus's squad needs some buckets and some tempo to force the Bobcats to play a smaller lineup.
Brown looking to inbound. He lobs it out to McMahon. Throws over to Osabor. Thought about a three. Gave it to Brown. Now into the post. Bello back out to Brown. Pumps the three. Gives it to McMahon. His topside long range trigger. That's short. No good on the three-point attempt by McMahon. Idaho with a rebound. Vandals down 4 with the ball. 9:15 to go in the first half. Handoff on the left wing. Salee turns the corner. Gets into the lane. Pulls up floater. Good. Yusef Salee with his first 2 points coming off his season-high 18-point performance against Long Beach State before the break. Brown out at the top for the Cats. Montana State up by 2. 9 minutes left in the first half. Bounce down to the right baseline. Back out to McMahon. Ball moved around the perimeter. Here's Brown on the drive. Fakes the pass. Finger roll. No! Came up short. Loose ball. Brown dives for it. Still loose on the floor. And they call a whistle and a kick. And it's going to Montana State. Great hustle by Darius Brown. It turns into a kick by Idaho.
Yeah, good hustle. And right now, that's kind of been the difference. A lot of 50-50 balls. The Bobcats have found a way to come up with those 50-50 balls, and Idaho is not. That's maybe the difference between defending a championship and pursuing a championship.
Montana State with the basketball. They work offensively to our left. 8:40 to go in the first half. Brown throws to Fuller. He's on the drive from the top. Gets cut off at the elbow. Backs it out beyond the perimeter. 7 to shoot. Toss into the post. Bello double team 5. Spins in the lane. Kicks to the right corner. Patterson for 3. Count it! Tyler Patterson from downtown to the right corner for 3. Montana State up 21-16. Just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. Idaho with the basketball. Handoff over on the left wing. Smith gives it to the top. Here's a 3 that is too strong, and a foul on Idaho going after the rebound. John Harge picks up his second as he tugged at the arm of Bello. An easy call for the official. The Bozeman Come On In Hotel and Suites is a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics and the Montana State Alumni Association. The Come On In allows you to escape the ordinary while enjoying their numerous hotel and guest room amenities. Visit ComeOnIn.com to book your stay today. Bello going to the line for a 1-and-1. Jabril Bello off to a strong start, 5 points. Tyler Patterson leading the way with 8, 2 threes. He's 3 for 5 overall. Patterson coming off the bench for the first time this year, and he's got the sharpshooter's eye today. Bello's first free throw is good. He's up to 6 with 1 more coming after knocking down the 1-and-1.
Patterson coming off the bench has really been a spark here. You know, one of the things that does help sometimes is when you're in that starting lineup, you're getting their best defender on the perimeter. Now you're getting a secondary defender, and that looks like it's made a difference for him getting some open looks.
Bello knocks them both down. Give him 7 in the first half. Montana State leading 23-16. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Bounce pass up to the top of the key. Salee hands it off in the left wing. Trey Smith turns the corner off a screen, pulls up and drains the long 2. Trey Smith with 4 early points, the 5th-year senior transfer from San Jose State, who averages about 5 a game. Montana State up 23-18, 7.5 to go in the first. Patterson lobs into the post for Bello, lost his balance, got rid of it, pass out to the top. McMahon weaves to the free throw line, pulls up the jumper, that is no good, and a foul going the other way, and that's going against John Harge. No, ooh, they called Bello for that. First on Jabril Bellows, he was boxing out. That'll take us to a break, presented by Prime Lending. We're sitting at our First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leads it 23-18 over Idaho. 7:28 to go in the first half. Back after this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball from Learfield.
Zach's been working on that foul call.
For all of your building needs, go where longstanding traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Allen, a Montana tradition since 1946.
As well, just 3 servings of dairy a day improves overall wellness and may reduce the risk of developing some chronic diseases. It's a quick, convenient, and economic way to make sure you are staying strong and healthy on and off the field. Sit at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leading it 23-18 against Idaho. 7:28 to go in the first half. 7 assists on 8 field goals for the Cats. All assists presented by Aware Mental Health Services. And Montana State 3 of 6 from the three-point line. All 3-point field goals sponsored by Wendy's.
That three-point line is really the difference right now. Tyler Patterson comes off the bench, bangs a couple threes, and Idaho is yet to connect.
Idaho, the top three-point shooting team in the conference at 38%. They're 0 of 3 from downtown today. Rashad Smith pulls up at the free throw line. His jumper's no good, and Great Osabor grabs the rebound. MSU into the front court. Robert Ford has the dribble, crosses over to his left, gets at the elbow, throws it back out to McMahon on the right wing. Now into the post, right side for Osabor. He's doubled, has to get rid of it and does with a bounce pass to McMahon. Give it to Fuller. He drives into the lane, floats it up. That is no good, but draws the foul. Got grabbed underneath. Another foul called on Idaho. That's charged to Nigel Burris. That's his second. So for Idaho, Harge, Burris, and Jones, all with multiple fouls already.
Effectively, everybody who plays in the post for them has got 2 fouls. Plus, Moffitt's got a single foul as he'll check back in here. Idaho's probably going to go again to that 4-guard lineup, play super small ball.
Number 13,
Bobcat Basketball is brought to you by Kendall Ford Lincoln of Bozeman, a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great. Free throw is good by Fuller. He splits the pair. 1 point for Caleb Fuller today. He had 6 in the game against Arizona before the 9-day layoff. 6:45 to go in the first half. Montana State up 24-18. Idaho with the basketball to our right. Handoff over on the left wing for Trey Smith. Idaho certainly a revamped roster, but they're not quite finding their depth yet and they're in some foul trouble today. Smith bounce pass into the right corner. Drive by Salih. Kicked out to the left side. Here's a 2-2. That is no good. And a long rebound grab by Idaho. Smith steps in. Rashad Smith can't finish. Osabor had the rebound. Had it knocked out of his hands. And then a bad pass, and it's stolen by Fuller. Montana State with the basketball. Boy, that was a brutal fight underneath. Montana State up 24-18 against Idaho. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Toss out to McMahon on the right wing. Lob into the post. Back out to McMahon. Moves it to Patterson. Triggers the top side three. Count it. Tyler Patterson scalding hot from downtown. He's got 3 threes in the first half.
Great to see Tyler Patterson get it going here. 3 of 5 from 3, 4 of 6 overall, 11 points. First guy in double figures.
Moffitt out on the left elbow. Hands it off up to the top of the key for Harge. Give it to Salih top. Salih on the drive, gets into the middle of the post, forces it up, no good. Pat McMahon with the defense and the rebound for Montana State. Cats are 4 of 7 from the three-point line. All three-point field goals presented by Wendy's. And Isaac Jones getting ready to check back in with 2 personal fouls as Montana State has opened up a 9-point lead, and Fuller's pass is kicked. It'll stay with the Cats.
Yeah, right there. Boy, you can tell how Coach Claus feels about his team right now offensively, as he's taking a huge chance putting Isaac back in, and immediately Danny Sprinkle sends Bello in to give him that test in the post. Be stunned if there's not a play right here to get the ball into Bello.
Jabril Bello, 7 points on 2 of 4 shooting with 3 rebounds so far, and he's 3 for 3 from the line. 5 1/4 to go in the first half. Montana State up 27-18. Patterson to Brown to Gonzalez around the perimeter. Give it to Fuller left wing. Bounce pass into the post, Bello. Backing down one-on-one against Jones. Now draws a double team, kicks it out. Fuller drives from the wing, gives it into Bello. Pass is tipped, it's loose, out of bounds, and it's going to Idaho.
Oh, and Jones might have got away with a little push right there. That's a risky play to make when you've got 2 fouls to even think about that.
4:57 to go in the first half. This has been everything we expected from this revamped Idaho squad. This is not the team that went 9-22 last year. Idaho with the ball to our right. Lob to the post for Jones, working against Bello. He's doubled by Brown. Jump pass out, tip free. Cat steal it. Gonzalez tipped it. Fuller's got it. He's 2-on-1 in transition. Lays it no. And Idaho is able to pick up the rebound. Thrown ahead to Jones. Bello got back. Forces it up. No good, and Bello has the rebound. Great defense by Jabril Bello. Crowd wanted to travel on Jones. Thrown out to the left wing for the Cats offensively, up 9, 4:19 to go, and Montana State will take a deep breath and slow the pace down for a moment.
Yeah, and right now it's in the Bobcats' interest to keep the pace slow. It allows for a lot more post touches, putting pressure on the middle of that Idaho defense.
Brown out on the right wing, only 5 to shoot, steps up for 3. That is short. Rebound, grabbed by Fuller, jumps across the baseline, throws it off a Vandal, but Idaho able to save it. Idaho basketball. Moffitt ahead of steam into the lane. Gets cut off by Brown. Still working on Brown into the lane with a dribble. Pump fake, leans in, lays it good. Devontae Moffitt, he's got 8 in the first half. Montana State up 27-20. 3:40 to go in the first half. Brown up to the top. Looking for the post. Instead fires over to the right elbow. Now into the post for Bello. Lefty hook. That's short. And Idaho has the rebound. Moffitt up to the right wing. With the lefty dribble into the lane. Goes to the cup. Lays it. No. Swirled off. Looked like he had the position. Couldn't quite finish. Montana State with the ball in a 7-point lead. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Brown to the top, gives it to Fuller, back to Brown, back to Fuller, now fires into Bello, out to Patterson, left corner 3, ring it up, Tyler Patterson, 4 threes in the first half.
Boy, and 3 of those 4 threes have come on inside, outside. Throw it into Bello, watch the double team, and then kick it back out. Patterson is absolutely lighting up the scoreboard.
He had just 16 all year coming into this game, and now a pass into the post is out of bounds. Turnover by Idaho. Montana State basketball. 5 Wendy's 3-pointers for the Cats. They've got their first double-digit lead of the game after the long-range sharpshooting from Tyler Patterson. We'll take a break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 2:39 to go in the first half. Montana State 30, Idaho 20. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Believes in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past for all your building needs. Go to where long-standing traditions have been met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Holland, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946. We also appreciate Simpkins Holland presenting the Behind the Mic live stream, which is on YouTube and on Facebook. We're at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leads it 30-20 over Idaho. 2:39 to go in the first half. Not going well over in Moscow. The women are down 35-18 at Idaho right now. That game late in the second quarter. Montana State with the ball to our left. Darius Brown gives to Sam Lecolot out on the left wing. Out to Patterson, back to Lecolot beyond the perimeter. Around to the right wing, now into the post for Bello. Trying to back down, draws the double team, skips it out to the left wing. Gazelles open for three. That is no good, and Idaho grabs the rebound. So Idaho got away, kind of stole a few minutes with Isaac Jones in that last sequence, playing with two personal fouls. Moffitt on the left elbow, working against Gazelles, has to get rid of it. Nice defense. Up to the top for Salee. Around over to the right wing for Rashad Smith. Holding with 10 to shoot. Smith to his left. Nearly lost the dribble. Got rid of it to Salee. 5 to shoot. Salee looking for the post. 2. Salee puts up a contested 3. He hits the top of the backboard. Darius Brown has the defense, and Danny Sprinkle steps out and gives him a big high five.
Great possession again defensively. The Bobcats are taking a team that's scoring 80 a game. They've held them to 20. A team shooting 50 from the field. They're shooting 38. And a team that leads the conference in three-point shooting, and they're 0 for 4 right now from behind the arc.
Pass tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Montana State. Still with 21 seconds on the shot clock. Only 1:37 to go in the first half. Montana State up 30-20. Brown a calm dribble near the half-court line. Guarded by Moffitt. Bounce pass to the right wing for Gazelles, looking for the post. Finds Bello down to the right block, spins into a double team, spins back left, lays it up with the right hand, and swirls it home. Jabril Bello's got 9 to the first half. It's up 12.
No player in the Big Sky changes the game plan like Jabril Bello. There's just nobody like him, physical, athletic, can score the basketball.
Salee off the screen, triggers a 3. That's no good. Darius Brown has the rebound. 0 for 5 start from downtown for Idaho. They average 8.5 threes per game. Montana State with the ball, leading by a dozen. Under a minute to play in the first half. Gazelles up at the top of the key. Over to Lecolot on the right wing. Bounce pass kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Montana State. Osabor getting ready to check in for the Cats.
Checking in off the bench for the Bobcats, number 3, Osabor.
Jabril Bello going to the bench, getting a hearty round of applause. 9 points, 5 boards, 3 assists for the reigning Big Sky Player of the Year.
And it's impressive how well Montana State's played defensively, but only committed 5 total fouls. Put themselves in a position where they've got a couple guy with 2, and obviously all of this has happened, and we have not mentioned the name of Raekwon Battle except for those 2 quick whistles in the first minute.
Yeah, Prime Lending timeout called by Montana State. Prime Lending, home loans made simple. Tyler Patterson leading the way, 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. And look, Patterson's a sophomore, came in as a starter. You know, he's a unique player, 6'8", great shooter, shot 38% from downtown last year, but for whatever reason, just did not have the touch. And you knew at some point he was going to figure it out. We've said it nonstop. Yes, he's had some tough games. The shots haven't fallen. They have fallen today with his 4 Wendy's three-pointers.
Yeah, just taking the pressure off him of starting, kind of just broke that chain, freed up the mind, and let him go to work. Hopefully this is a catalyst for him going through league play, especially filling in for what effectively has been Raekwon Battle. His 14 points, you know, Raekwon's not seen the floor, hadn't even thought about a shot.
Battle, as Brian mentioned, picked up 2 personal fouls in the first 60 seconds of this game. 10 seconds to shoot. Montana State with the ball up 12 to our left. Bounce to Osabor in the post left side. Leans in, lays it good. Got hammered again. No call, doesn't matter. Osabor able to finish. He's got 6 points in the first half. Shot clock and game clock identical with about 25 seconds to go in the first half. Montana State up by 14, their largest lead of the day. Moffitt will wind it down a bit here.
Moffitt's going to go one-on-one at the end of this shot clock. Bobcats have got to guard him.
Steps to the elbow, weaves in the lane, going to the rack, got blocked. Osabor swats it down. Loose ball, out of bounds, and it's a jump ball as Osabor got tied up. And now Brown pulling Osabor back. So Osabor and Harge were all wrapped up. Osabor's never going to back down from a fight. It's a jump ball. Both teams had both hands on it, and it's going to Montana State. There we go, a little chippiness from Osabor and Harge. Love to see it. All good. Some good-natured competitiveness with 5 seconds left in the first half. Cats have to go the length of the floor. Lecolot hands it off for Brown. He races along the left sideline. 3, weaves inside 1, lost it, and that is the end of the press. Ooh, look out. That's the end of the first half. Brown got kind of grabbed there by Salih. Brown diffusing the situation, but Salih had knocked it free, and it looked like he grabbed Brown's leg as he was trying to get up. And again, Brown did a nice job of diffusing that situation. He did not take the bait when he got grabbed there. And it is officially chippy.
And that's a difference between Brown being a senior type 4th-year player and Salih being a freshman, just a young guy. He's let the emotion get away from him of a brutal first half for Idaho's offense.
See every pulse-pounding, buzzer-beating play in astounding detail with a patient experience that's second to none. Experienced doctors, advanced technology. Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK and cataract surgeon of the Bobcats, is your home for laser vision correction. Learn more at VanceThompsonVision.com. The first half is complete. We'll take a break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leading at 34-20 over Idaho in the Big Sky Conference opener. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. State Bank broadcast position. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside Brian Preby in the Big Sky season conference opener. Montana State up 34-20 against Idaho. Brian, what an effort by the Cats. This is an Idaho team that averages 80 points a game.
Yeah, they ain't getting 80 tonight, and the biggest difference is you're taking away the three ball and you're not allowing Isaac Jones to be established in the post. He's got just one basket, and it wasn't even a post move. It was a face-up drive that allowed that. He's only got 4 field goal attempts. If it wasn't for what Moffitt did in the first half, 8 points on 4 for 10, Idaho would be struggling. I mean, that guy's got half their offense already. On the other end, the Bobcats have got the offense rolling. Tyler Patterson is taking advantage of the double teams. He's getting open on the perimeter and knocking down 4 3-pointers in the first half. Bello gets a 9 spot in the first frame as well, and Osabor with 6. So Isaac has 2, Osabor, Bello have 15. There's your difference. That, 5 made threes versus 0 made threes. That's ball game.
Right, and you can see it. Look, this is a Montana State team that looks ready for the challenge. They are obviously not sitting on their laurels from last year. They are ready. They look hungry right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Last year's team was probably a shade better offensively than they were defensively. They're obviously good at both. This team is probably a little better defensively than they are offensively so far this season. I mean, that defensive effort right there is tremendous. Idaho's sitting in the locker room going, what happened? I mean, we've been scoring at will all season, and now we can't even find a bucket. They didn't score in the last 4 minutes. They made one of their last 9 shots. Just absolutely looking for answers. Now, the scary thing in college basketball is halftime, it's like a whole different game. You might as well just wipe it all out because you come out second half, and both teams are going to have adjustments and make plays. So probably be a hugely high-scoring second half after that.
Yeah, we'll see. And the Cats did all of that without Raekwon Battle. He played less than a minute in that first half after picking up 2 quick personal fouls, and Montana State just got to show off their depth.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to zone this Bobcat team when Raekwon Battle's sitting on the bench. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that in the second half. He's going to be out there, and whether it's Patterson or Gazales, they're just going to be in a position to put a team that can really shoot it out there.
All right, we'll take a break. It's halftime. Montana State leading Idaho 34-20. Back to the First Interstate Rank broadcast position. After this, you're listening to Bobcat basketball from Lear Field.
Where are you going next, Sandra?
Montana State leading at halftime 34-20 against Idaho. Let's take a look at the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. First Interstate Bank, home of Bobcat Banking. Taking a look around the rest of the Big Sky, with the Cats up by 14 here against the Vandals. As Big Sky play opens up across the conference now. So we've got a boatload of other games going on around the Big Sky Conference today. Although it's 4 games going today, it'll be 5 games going on Saturday. Of course, one team having the bye each week. So Weber State leading at Northern Colorado at home, 37-28. Idaho State leads Northern Arizona comfortably, up 44-21. Idaho State was picked last in the preseason poll, and Montana is in a dogfight against Eastern Washington at halftime, leading 39-37. On the women's side, take a look at what Tricia Binford's crew is doing. They're, of course, over at Idaho today. They're battling back. It's halftime right now, and they are down 35-20 at the mid-game break. Montana parents know parenting isn't easy. ParentingMontana.org provides you with a way to build the skills your child needs to be successful. ParentingMontana.org, tools for your child's success. Don't forget the Bobcat Insider TV show will air on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock on the CW. We will have both Tricia Binford and Danny Sprinkle on that. And then Cat Chat, our radio show, our live radio show, will be hosted over at the Arabian Chop House on Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. I will take a break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leading it 34-20 over Idaho. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Montana State leads it 34-20 over Idaho. Montana State in that first half had 10 assists on their 12 field goals. All assists presented by Aware Mental Health Services. And the Cats go 5 of 10 from the three-point line. All three-point field goals presented by Wendy's. Overall, the Cats shot 46% from the field, 50% from 3, 71% from the free throw line. Idaho 35% from the field, 0 of 5 from downtown, and 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Idaho had 7 turnovers. Montana State had 4 in the first half, and they out-rebounded the Vandals by 2. Individually, Montana State led by Tyler Patterson. He had 14 points. Jabril Bello had 9. Osobor 6. Brown 3. Ford and Fuller had 1. And Raekwon Battle was out most of that first half with 2 personal fouls. Idaho was led by Devontae Moffitt, who had 8 points, and he was their leading scorer, while Isaac Jones had just 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting. One more break. When we get back, we'll have the start of the second half. Montana State and Idaho. Bobcats leading 34-20. A break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. You're listening to Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Back at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, we're getting set for the second half with Montana State leading 34-20 over Idaho. Let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Bobcat basketball. I'm Keaton Galogly, sitting next to Brian Preby at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. John O'Connor back in the studios. Montana State leads it 34-20 over Idaho, looking to start the Big Sky season off on the right foot. Brian, what are you looking for in the last 20 minutes here?
Yeah, you got to keep the pressure on Isaac Jones and not let him bounce back. As the Bobcats come out in a 1-3-1 real quick.
And an alley-oop up to Isaac Jones, makes the catch, lands, and then lays it in. Isaac Jones now with 4 points. Lob into Bello down on the right block. Kicks it back out to Brown, around to Fuller, out to Battle, into the left corner for Patterson. Back to Battle, out at the top. Give it to Fuller, then to Brown, still beyond the arc. Up to Fuller at the top, looking for Bello. Bounce pass into Bello. Had it tip free. He recovers and lays it up and in with a left hand. Jabril Bello into double figures. He's got 11.
It's tough for Jones there because he doesn't want to pick up a quick one. So he kind of is passive defensively and gives Bello a pretty easy look.
Isaac Jones, the leading scorer in the conference, and playing with 2 personal fouls. Bounce pass into the post, off the mark and out of bounds. And it's a turnover, 8th turnover of the day for Idaho. The Bobcats need your support to go for the win. Donate to the Bobcat Club's 3 to Win campaign to help us reach our $3 million goal supporting our student athletes. Idaho moving from left to right. Zach Claus, the head coach for Idaho, wandering around. He leaked out past half-court line there momentarily. Battle with the basketball out of the right wing. Into Fuller, down to the post right side. He's doubled. Dribbles out of it. Jump pass out to Battle. Lines up and open. 3. Got it. Danny Sprinkle knew that thing was in halfway home. He was clapping his hands while that ball sailed through. First 3 points for Raekwon Battle.
And that's a hard thing. If you're going to double in the post, you got to recover the shooters. Guys like Raekwon Battle don't need a lot of room.
Battle at 17 against Arizona. Idaho with the ball. Moffitt try to drive, gets underneath, in too deep, kicks it out to the top. Salih into Jones, working on Bello, and an offensive foul. Bello took the bump, kind of leaned back. It almost looked like he wanted to go down, but then was afraid of the flopping call. And either way, he gets the offensive call against Isaac Jones, who picks up his third foul.
Yeah, right there. That's just the veteran. He knew he was going right to that left shoulder and just jumped it. Took the charge and drew that third.
18-20 to go in the ball game. Montana State up 39-22. Brown weaving to the left elbow, throws it up to the top for Fuller, looking for the post, fires into Bello with an overhand pass, down to the left block, and Bello finishes with a left hand, working around Isaac Jones. Bello's getting whatever he wants now. He's got 13 points.
Yeah, and right there, Bello just saying, hey, young fella, this is what it's all about.
Pass up to the top. Ooh, tipped by Patterson, recovered by Idaho, which trails 41-22. Pass to the post, knocked out of bounds. Caleb Fuller came over with some help and swatted it out of bounds. This is the largest lead of the day for Montana State, up by 19.
Yeah, and Idaho right now is just experiencing a bunch of new players, first league game on the road, just not quite ready for what they got to bring. They're going to have to adjust before they head to Missoula.
Rashad Smith working against Raekwon Battle, only 7 to shoot. Smith out at the top, 5, Smith to the elbow, 4, spins in the lane, whistle, foul. And they're calling Raekwon Battle for the foul. And it's his third now. Taking a look at what happened there. Not 100% sure. Maybe a little hand check in there?
Yeah, I think he just got caught. And, it's in the shot clock. Smith's just going to put his head down and go. Battle trying not to foul actually kind of makes him a little more tentative, easier for a call.
Moffitt at the top, spins into the lane, working on Brown, turns, floats, got it too. That's a tough finish by Devontae Moffitt. He's got 10 points. He was a heck of a scorer at Seattle Pacific at the G2 level, scored almost 1,500 points in his 4 years there. Montana State with the ball up, 41-24. Alley-oop, Raekwon Battle, two-hand slam off the dime by Brown.
Yeah, nice play, nice pass. You could see it. Danny Sprinkle knew it was good before he even got the ball in the air.
A block on the other end between Brown and Battle. That was Darius Brown on the left wing, and cutting down off that right baseline, Raekwon Battle made the two-hand catch and rattled the rim with a big-time jam. Idaho with the basketball. Up to the top, Salih working his way inside, had it knocked free out of bounds. Oh, staying with Idaho. No, they're saying that was tipped. Boy, sure looked like Salih just lost that.
Yeah, it might be one of those two where they swallow the whistle on the foul and just give the possession.
Idaho to inbound. Bounce pass to Isaac Jones into the post, working underneath, reverse layup, got it to fall. Boy, even that, though, was very difficult. 6 points for Isaac Jones, but he had to earn that one.
Yeah, he's getting a little better feel here in the second half, though. He's got 2 made field goals, giving himself a little bit of momentum.
16:45 to play in the ball game. Montana State up 43-26. Lob out to the left wing. Give it to Patterson to the top. Around to Battle. Triggers the right wing 3. Short. Rebound tipped. Fuller fighting for it. The Cats win it. Caleb Fuller wins a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, another 50-50 win for the Cats.
Battle working his way down to the baseline. Pulls up. Jumper. Too strong. And Idaho has the rebound. Vandals from right to left. Montana State up 43-26. Here's a right wing 3. That is short from Moffitt. Montana State has the rebound. This is an Idaho team that battled back from a big deficit to win at Cal State Northridge. They were down by 22 against Long Beach State, and we're within a buck at the end. And here's a beautiful post move by Jabril Bello with a right hand hook in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, and Isaac Jones is a really good player, but he's not as physically strong as Jabril Bello is, and Bello's taking advantage of that with those deep catches.
Moffitt tried to drive, had it stripped free, recovers, kicks it out to the right wing. Here's a 3 by Rashad Smith, and that rattles in. Well, if you're going to get back, that's how you do it. Rashad Smith, 32% from downtown, gets his first field goal of the day with a right wing 3. First 3 of the day for Idaho, which leads the conference at 38% from beyond the arc. Patterson to Brown, bounce into the post, here's Bello, backing into the middle of the lane, spins right shoulder, kicks it back out. Raekwon Battle gives it to Caleb Fuller, back to Battle, around to Bello, works his way along the baseline, gets to the cup, lays it up, no, got hit, no call, and Idaho grabs the rebound. 15 minutes to go in the game. Montana State up 45-29. Moffitt crossing over to the cup. Lefty layup finishes. Devontae Moffitt is an exceptional scorer, and he can do it in a lot of ways, and we saw another difficult finish there. Timeout called by Idaho. All timeouts presented by Prime Lending. Prime Lending, home loans made simple. We'll take a break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 14:59 to go in the second half. Montana State up 45-31 over Idaho. This is Bobcat basketball presented by Learfield. Montana's Ribbon Chop House has been serving Rocky Mountain communities for over 20 years. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. We hope you'll be our guest at one of our Montana locations soon. And, well, if you haven't been there recently, I'll see you there on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. for our first basketball cat chat of the year with both Danny Sprinkle and Trisha Binford. 14:59 to go in the second half. Montana State up 45-31 over Idaho. Brian, what do you see in the first few minutes of the second half?
Well, you thought the Bobcats came out on that 7-2 quick run. You thought, okay, they're going to expand this. But Idaho showed some grit, knocked down a three, couple buckets for Isaac Jones. 11-11 in the second half, 5 minutes in. So I think it's going to be a dogfight. You just got to keep grinding every single possession.
The officials having a little bit of a conversation here.
I think right now the question is something about the timeout.
The media timeouts? Because obviously Idaho used a timeout.
Or the book is inaccurate.
Because you had, in the second half, you have whoever calls that first timeout, that turns into a media timeout, and then you have the other 4 media timeouts at each 4-minute interval. And so we're at the 15-minute mark, so we were due the traditional under 16 media timeout, but Idaho called a timeout. Although I'm not sure, they were also talking to some of the players who were getting an explanation of something. Danny doesn't look pleased.
Yeah, technical foul. So what happened is, coming out of timeout, the coaches from Montana State communicated to the scorekeeper that they were going with the same 5, but actually Patterson was in for Gonzalez. So because they had the wrong players on the court versus who was supposed to be, leads to an administrative technical foul. Idaho gets the 1 free throw, and then play resumes.
Montana State with a basketball. 15 minutes to go in the ball game. Cats up 45-32. Full court press here by Idaho, and the Cats pass right through it. Robert Ford calls out the play, pointing out with his left hand on a right-handed dribble. To battle back to Ford, around to the left wing for Lekalot, looking for the post. Doesn't have it, out to Lekalot, open 3. Yes, Sam Lekalot pouring it home. His first bucket of the day. Danny Sprinkle was right there with him. He kind of did the shooting motion right as Lekalot let it fly. That was exactly what he wanted to see.
Yeah, Danny made hundreds of those types of shots in his career.
Isaac Jones in deep, kicks it out to the left wing. Moffitt trying to break it down, nowhere to go against Ford. He fires over to the right wing for Rashad Smith. Drive, spins in the lane against Battle, fall away, floater. No, Raekwon Battle the rebound, and then he gets hit. And that's a foul on, who was it, Isaac Jones?
Yeah, number 3 on Jones right there. Good job by Raekwon Battle to avoid the foul on penetration, come up with the rebound, and then draw a big third.
No, that's his 4th. Yeah, that's the 4th on Isaac Jones. So 4 on Isaac Jones after that.
Yeah, he had the charge. I forgot the charge.
And we will take a break. 14-10 to go in the ball game. Montana State up 48-32 against Idaho. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield.
Bobcat Athletics would like to extend a special thank you to Town Pub for serving as the exclusive sponsor.
That's not significant.
Series.
Bobcat basketball is presented by your locally owned and operated McDonald's of Montana. Download the McDonald's app for free large fries every men's Cats basketball game day. 14-10 to go in the ball game. Montana State up 48-32, and for Idaho, the leading scorer in the Big Sky, Isaac Jones, has just picked up his 4th personal foul.
Yeah, 6 points, but 4 fouls is not the recipe for Idaho to be successful. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Moffitt now. He's got 13 already. He's going to have to really take over this game, keep his ball club close, give Jones a chance to earn some time, and then get back in.
Raekwon Battle fires over to the top of the key for Patterson. Back to Battle, fires the right wing 3, got hit, counted, and one. A chance for a 4-point play. Easy call for the official. He got hit right on the arm, and he still finished the 3-pointer from the right wing.
I always used to joke with guys, if you got a foul on a 3 and you made it, you obviously weren't going to make it unless you get fouled. So Raekwon right there might have got a little help, got a little higher, and found a way to stick it in.
Raekwon Battle trying to complete a 4-point play. Yes, knocking it down. Raekwon Battle only played a minute in the first half due to foul trouble. He hasn't missed a beat coming back out here in the second half. Montana State up by 20, their largest lead of the day. Pass over to the left wing. Here's a 3. That's no good. Long rebound, and Robert Ford tracks it down to the corner. Ford hustling across the half-court line out to the right wing. Weaves his way to the top. Takes it to the elbow. Throws back to Lecolot. Bounce pass into the post. Out to Patterson. Right corner 3. Ring it up. Tyler Patterson from the right corner for another 3. His 5th of the day. He's got 17. And the Cats extend their largest lead of the day. Now an open topside 3 is good by Nigel Burris. He's got 7. The freshman who shoot 51% from beyond the arc.
And clearly his game is built around that, so for him to get an open look is not what the Bobcats want to see.
Patterson again. Oh, in and out. Tried the 3-point shot from the right wing, and it's whirled off the iron. Idaho with the basketball down 55-35. 13 minutes to go in the ball game. Moffitt with it at the top. Zach Claus calling out a play from the bench. Moffitt to the left wing, drives, and a hand check foul before he got to the bucket. A foul on Robert Ford, his third. Nick Gazala's coming into the game. Darius Brown into the ball game as well. Town Pump's a proud sponsor of the Brawl of the Wild rivalry series between Montana State University and the University of Montana. It's all sports all season long. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions at your local Town Pump. Inbounds pass for Idaho on their own baseline. Still looking, and a 5 count, couldn't get it in. Montana State gets the ball back. Boy, the defense by Montana State is a sight to behold today.
Yeah, it is something special. They are getting after it, holding the team that has been killing teams with their offensive prowess to just nothing.
Lecolot thought about an open three, steps to the free throw line, picks up the dribble and gets rid of it. Good closeout by Idaho. Brown's got it on the left wing, crosses over at the top, backs it down. Brown still with the dribble, 8 to shoot, picks it up, bounce into Osabor in the middle of the lane, pump fake, leans, finger roll, got it. Great Osabor, shifty finish, great patience. Osabor with 8. Moffitt trying to get space, Brown's locking him down, toss to the top, here's a 3, yes, that's good by John Harge. His first 3 of the day, his first 3 of the season. 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. Just under 12 minutes to go in the game. Montana State up 57-38 over Idaho. Lecolot on the left wing. Throws to Brown on the right wing. Looking for the post. Fires to Gazales. Around to Patterson. Here's a right wing 3. That is no good. Lecolot had it, got hammered from behind, and it's not a bounds. Going to Idaho. How is that not over and back?
Called a foul on Sam.
Oh, he did. Wow. How did Sam get called for a foul? He was the one who got hit from behind. First foul on Sam Lecolot. 11:39 to go in the ball game. We're taking a break for the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State 57, Idaho 38. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. This game is brought to you by the Montana State Fund, covering Montana's workers with workers' comp and safety know-how. Workplace safety, you're naked without it. More at safemt.com. 11:39 to go in the ball game. Montana State leading Idaho 57-38. Cats shooting 53% from the field today, 21 of 40, and they're 9 of 17 from the three-point line. 53% there. All three-point field goals presented by Wendy's, and 5 of those 9 coming from Tyler Patterson today.
Yeah, Patterson just coming off the bench for the first time all season. Absolutely unloads. Probably some frustration about that change by just making shots, and that'll do it. Takes 10 shots thus far. He's got 17 points, and boy, that's just a great way to respond to a change in the lineup.
How about only 5 turnovers for Montana State today, 3/4 of the way through the ball game. Idaho with the ball. Moffitt crossing over up to the top, picks up the dribble, gets to the free throw line. The leaner is up and good. Another tough finish by Moffitt. He's such a creative scorer. I don't know that you teach everything he's doing to a youngster, but man, he can finish in some really awkward positions. Gazales up at the top. Around to the left corner for McMahon, backing down to the left block, picks up the dribble, fires to Gazales, pumps the three, around to Brown on the right wing, bounce into the post, Osabor, backing down to the left block, kicks it back out, Brown back to Osabor on the repost, 8 to shoot, into the middle of the lane, and the lefty hook is good. Tough finish by great Osabor.
Unbelievable possession. I mean, they are just absolutely moving that ball around. They can't get the double team there because the passes are too quick, and great just finishes in the paint.
10 points for Osabor. In the post, turnaround righty hook, that is good. John Harge able to finish. Montana State wanted a double dribble, but apparently it was tipped by Osabor.
Yeah, it was. Osabor stripped him just enough to get that reset.
Montana State with the basketball. Up at the top, Fuller fires over to the left wing. Now into the post left side. Osabor backing down into the lane. Throws it out to McMahon, back to Osabor, turns, lefty hook, that's short off the glass, kicked off the rim, and Idaho has the rebound. They're trying to push, but the Cats get back defensively. Out to the top of the key. Hand off there, Moffitt the point guard, has the dribble with 10 minutes to go in the game. Crossing over to the left elbow, into the lane, floats it, got blocked from behind. Great Osabor, a little bit of help, and he knocks it down into the baseline.
Yeah, one of the things you see with Moffitt is because he doesn't drive to ever pass, now you got Bello, you got Osabor thinking, man, we can go block this guy's shot because he's going to shoot it when he gets in the paint.
Idaho to inbound. Lob out to the top of the key. Hand off there. Here's Moffitt again. 7 to shoot. Moffitt down to the right block, floats it up and in. Another smooth finish by Devontae Moffitt, who's got 17 today, averages 16.8 per game. 9:40 to go in the game. Montana State up 59-44. Fuller up at the top. Bounce pass into the post right side for Bello. Backing down, spins, got space, and jams it home with 2 hands. Spin move left his defender in the dust. 17 for Bello today. Moffitt the other way against Ford. He's doubled in deep, slings it out into the left corner. A 3. That's no good. Gazales has the rebound. Montana State with the ball. They'll slow it down. They've got this game fully in control, up 61-44 with 9 minutes left. Ford out to the top. Works his way over to the left wing. Give it to Fuller at the top of the key. Over to McMahon. His pass tipped and stolen. And then a foul on McMahon against Dominique Ford. At Montana's Rib and Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you. Raekwon battle in. Nick Gazales heading to the bench. Idaho with the basketball. They trail 61-44. 8:50 to go in the ball game. Moffitt at the top, working his way into the lane, floats it up. No good. Another difficult shot. Couldn't finish that time, and Montana State has the rebound. Rocky Mountain Credit Union supporting Bobcat wins for over 75 years and counting. By Members' Choices financial institution, not federally insured. Each account is insured up to $250,000. Battle with the ball up at the top, looking for Bello in the post. He's in a fight again. That pass is tipped. Cats recover with 8 to shoot. Out to Ford to the left wing with 7. Ford to the elbow, 5. Spins, leans, floats. No, came up short. A little scoop shot, and Idaho has the rebound. Moffitt pushing the tempo, going up against Bello to the cup. No, missed it. Good defense by Bello, and Montana State has the rebound. Out to Ford, who takes it across the half-court line with 8 minutes to go, and Montana State up 61-44. Fuller into the lane, to the rack, floater, rimming, no, off the front iron, and Idaho has the rebound. Moffitt into the front court to settle it down and get it set up. Over to the left wing, Moffitt still with a dribble, guarded by Ford. Moves right around the screen, trying to turn the corner, and Ford's right there to cut him off. Great defense. He gets rid of it out to Rashad Smith. Rashad working his way into the lane, tries to step through, floats it, no, but a foul on Fuller. Got bumped kind of trying to step around Fuller into lower body contact. Gets Fuller called for his first foul. We'll take a break. 7:36 to go in the ball game. Montana State up 61-44 against Idaho. We're set in the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Montana State leading 61-44 against Idaho with 7:36 to go in the ball game. We're set in the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. We remind you to join Champ's new Kids Club, presented by Billings Clinic Bozeman. Your $25 membership fee gets you game tickets, Bobcat gear, and more. Sign up today at msubobcats.com/Champs Kids Club. Well, Brian, this is exactly what a championship team should look like after the first game or almost full game of conference season.
Yeah, they're playing championship level defense right now without question. And they've got Idaho a little bit baffled what to do offensively. They figured a few things out here in the second half, but the Bobcats have really been getting after it defensively.
Idaho shooting 44% from the field, 27% from three, on 3 of 11 from beyond the arc. At First Interstate Bank, it's about supporting our communities and cheering on our teams. Thank you for letting us be your trusted community bank for more than 50 years. First Interstate Bank, built for you, member FDIC. First free throw is good for Rashad Smith. At 26 starts last year, Smith knocks down his second free throw, guy who transferred over from Grand Canyon University. 7:30 left. Montana State up 61-46, looking for a 1-0 start in Big Sky play and looking for their 14th consecutive home win, which would be one off the program record set back in the late 80s. Ford on the drive, lays it up, got it to go. Oh, just a little head fake. Feinted the pass to Jabril Bello, and that opened up the space for Ford with a beautiful finish.
Yeah, and Moffitt gets a little break here, so Smith takes over point guard duties for Idaho.
Rashad fires over to the right wing. Here's a three. That is good. Trey Smith rattles it home. He's got 7. Outstanding three-point shooter who actually set San Jose State's single game at three-point field goal record while he was there, 50-year senior. Montana State with the ball. Bello out of the right elbow, facing up into the post for Battle. Turns, jumper, good. Raekwon Battle finishes. Boy, Raekwon Battle just locked in this season, taking another step. He's up to 11 points tonight, all in the second half.
Yeah, 11 points for a guy who's only played in 10 minutes.
Out to the left wing, then to the top. Rashad Smith for 3. In and out. Robert Ford the rebound for Montana State. Ford into the front court, head up. Fires over to Fuller on the left wing, looking for Bello in the post. Doesn't give it to him. Into the corner now for Battle. Picks up the dribble, tries a contested 3, that's short. Bello, the offensive rebound, steps in, lays it up. No, a charge. Wow, I thought he was in the semicircle. And they call the offensive foul on Bello. Love to see where the feet were of the defender there. Second foul on Bello. Bello looking up to the video board, trying to see if they get a replay. They do not. There really wasn't just.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely, he had both feet in the circle there.
That's a bad call.
Just missed it.
Moffitt with it at the top of the key. And that pass is stolen. Caleb Fuller's got it. In transition, draws a bump, and there's a foul on Moffitt, his second. 5:52 to go in the game. Montana State up 65-49. The Bobcats need your support to go for the win. Donate to the Bobcat Club's 3 to Win campaign to help us reach our $3 million goal supporting student athletes. Ford to inbound. Fires into Battle, makes the catch, mid-range, Jay Pure. Raekwon Battle from 15 out of the right side. 13 points for Battle, all in the second half. Montana State in control, up 67-49, 5:35 to go in the ball game. Moffitt out to the left wing. Gives to the top. Here's a drive by Trey Smith. Kicks it out to Rashad Smith. Pumps the three. Back to Trey. Left wing three is up and good. Nice ball movement by Idaho that time. 7 points for Trey Smith. 5:18 to go in the game. Montana State up 67-52. Fuller out of the left wing. One-hand pass to Ford on the right wing. Toss to the free throw line. Here's a jumper by Battle. That is short, and Idaho has the rebound. Vandals pushing from right to left. Moffitt on the drive, lays it, no, but draws the foul as he was heading downhill with a whole big set of steam. Free throws coming for Moffitt. And that's number 4 on Ford.
The worst part of that fourth foul is you get in late game, and if this does get a little closer, it's hard to play those 2 point guards together. You don't want your point guards in foul trouble ever.
Moffitt's free throw is good. He's got 18. Had 17 against Long Beach State in the last game for Idaho, close loss. Bridger Brewing at Three Forks is now open for lunch and dinner. Stop by Wednesdays through Sundays to enjoy our delicious food, craft beer, and cocktails. Bridger Brewing beers are now available at your favorite grocery store and gas stations across Montana. Cheers to every journey being better than the last. Next free throw was good. Montana State with the ball. They pass through the full court press, and the Cats slow it down with 4:50 to go in the game. Montana State up 67-54 against Idaho. Here's Brown on the drive, going to the rack, lefty layup, no, but draws the foul. Ooh, that thing sat on the front iron. Didn't quite fall through, but he'll be going to the line as Moffitt picks up his 3rd foul.
Good take by Brown there. You call the set to set up the play, and the defender relaxes, and you see a seam, and go take it.
Darius Brown going to the stripe. And Darius Brown, man, he's been the guy who's been on Moffitt a bunch today. His defense has really been there. I know Moffitt's kind of gotten his today. He's got 19 points on 8 of 18 shooting. Brown's free throw is good, but and there's a lot of times he's forced Moffitt to do something else with the ball.
Right, and it's a little bit like the Bello Osabar matchup against Jones. You got 2 guys, Ford and Brown, that can give Moffitt minutes. So those guys get to stay fresh. Moffitt's got to keep playing the whole time.
Both free throws good for Brown. Idaho with the ball down 69-54, 4:30 to go in the ball game. Cats trying to close it out and start the Big Sky season with a win. Here's Rashad Smith on the drive. Blocked by Jabril Bello. Swats it off the backboard. Montana State picks up the loose ball and work their way across the half-court line. Jabril Bello within shouting distance here of becoming the all-time leading blocker in Bobcat history. Here's Battle, bounce into the post. Bello draws the double team, trying to dribble out of it. Got tipped, loose, foul. And they're calling it on Bello, the loose ball foul, his 3rd.
Yeah, it's tough to dribble against those double teams. You're better doing what he did it earlier, just kicking it out quick to a guy like Patterson to knock down threes.
But one of the rare mistakes we've seen from Bello when he has drawn the double team, obviously he's been getting it a ton now for a long time, but he's so comfortable. It always does feel like he knows what he's doing once he gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he really does. And the only thing you've seen a little bit here is Idaho has been able to force some turnovers. They've got 3 turnovers over the last 4 minutes, and that's kind of got them back in it here. They could take the lead in the second half with 2 makes at this charity stripe.
First is good for Nigel Burris. So each team with 35 points in the second half. Idaho much more like themselves here in the second half, shooting 57% from the field and 5 of 9. Free throw is up and good by Burris. The true freshman hit both of them. Now his 7th straight start after Terrence Frank went down with an injury. Full court press here from Idaho. 4 minutes remaining in the game. Cats up 69-56. Here's Brown crossing across the half-court line, and he slows it down. Bounce pass to Battle. Back to Brown. The Cats set up the offense with under 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Montana State 69, Idaho 56. Fuller at the top. Hands off for Patterson. Turns the corner and gives it to Brown on the right wing. Gets a screen. Turns it down, moving right, pulls up right of the lane, bounce into the post for Osabor, back to Brown, 5 to shoot. Brown with a dribble to the free throw line, open jumper, rimming, no, fell off. And now Idaho with the basketball, and it's starting to get a little interesting here. Montana State is led by 23. Now Moffitt with a 2. That jumper's no good. The Cats maintain their 13-point lead. Kind of what happened to Idaho against Long Beach State last time out. Again, on that SoCal swing against CSUN, Cal State Northridge, they did battle back. And now Isaac Jones fouls out. Boy, that is the easiest foul you'll be able to call. That was an easy textbook hand check, and Isaac Jones has fouled out of this ball game, and that will take us to a break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 3:13 to go in the ball game. Montana State 69, Idaho 56. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. .313 to go in the ball game. Montana State leading Idaho 69-56. Sitting at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, and reminding you that Interwest Moving and Storage is the official moving company of the MSU Bobcats. Montana State today 9 of 18 from the three-point line. All three-point field goals presented by Wendy's. Cats 18 assists on 26 field goals today. All assists presented by Aware Mental Health Services. So Montana State up 69-56. Brian, feels a little lopsided, but Idaho's chipping away here.
Yeah, and they kind of hold the momentum. Bobcats, though, have got the time on their back. They just got to prevent Idaho from making some threes. You know that in this timeout, Zach Claus just drew up a 3, looking for something either from probably Burris or Smith, who's hit a couple here in the second half. The Bobcats just need to execute a couple more buckets will give them that breathing room they'd like to have.
Idaho 5 of 9 from the three-point line to the second half. That's why they've actually outscored Montana State by 1 in the second half. Montana State basketball. Darius Brown pressured out near the half-court line, only 8 to shoot here, moves right around the screen, now accelerates into the lane, pump fake on the right block, 4 to shoot, needs to get rid of it, fall away jumper off the front iron, Osabor fighting for the rebound, it is out of bounds. Great hustle by Osabor, laying full out, but couldn't quite get to it.
Yeah, the only good side of that possession is it took about 20 seconds off the clock, but Bobcats defense has got to continue to be stingy here with just 2:50 to go.
Idaho with the ball. They've shot 55% from the field in the second half. Here's a topside three. That's no good from Trey Smith. And Montana State has the rebound. They can slow it down, not having to face that full court press here.
And Smith had a good look there. He faded a little bit on it. Good news for Montana State is they're able to take possession, start working the clock.
Only 2:25 remaining. Montana State up 69-56. Brown moves to the left wing. Fires over to the right wing for Tyler Patterson. Turns to the free throw line, pulls up, jumper, no, off the front iron. And Idaho has the rebound. Patterson's been a star today with 17 points, tied for the team lead. Now a left wing three on the other side. Rashad Smith can't get it to go. Long rebound, fight for it, loose, tipped, saved, and a dunk on the left side by Nigel Burris, and a timeout called by Idaho. There were 3 white jerseys around that ball, and 1 black jersey came in and tipped it free to Burris, who had an easy 2-hand dunk, and a timeout called by Idaho. So there we go. The Vandals fighting back. What was once a 23-point deficit for Idaho is now only 11.
Yeah, 11-point difference here, and the Bobcats have just kind of gone cold offensively. Haven't done anything over the last few minutes. They've missed their last 4 shots. They haven't scored for 3 minutes. Idaho chipped away, made a couple free throws, made a couple buckets, and all of a sudden, in reasonable distance to make a run at it if Montana State can't convert.
Now, one of the big X factors here is the fact that Isaac Jones has fouled out. The leading scorer of the Big Sky finished with 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting. So, I mean, Montana State did beautifully against Isaac Jones today.
Yeah, they did really do a great job there, and that's obviously been something that's really hurt Idaho. The other thing that Idaho has to their edge right here is they have 16 fouls. So their next 3 fouls, if they're on the ground, are going to be 1-on-1 free throw opportunities. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a press, maybe try and get a trap around half court. If they don't force a turnover, then immediately foul and do something to try and, extend the game a little bit, see if they can find a way to get stops the old-fashioned way.
1:58 remaining in the ball game. Montana State up 69-58. Can they push this thing across the finish line, eyeing their 8th win overall this year, looking for their first Big Sky win back here on New Year's Eve with Eastern Washington here in town for a 2 o'clock tip on Saturday. Montana State inbounds. Brown working against Moffitt in the backcourt one-on-one, and Brown breaks the press with 1 second to spare. Bounce pass over to Ford, back to Brown with the 2 point guards handling the basketball for Montana State. Brown burning the clock down, jump pass over to Patterson on the left wing, fires down to the left corner, Fuller driving to the cup, reverse layup, no, put back slam by Jabril Bello. Bello with now 19 points. Montana State up 71-58. Out of the left wing. Solee holding. Fires to the top of the key. Nigel Burris drives and kicks out to the left corner. The 3 is up. That is no good. And Montana State grabs the rebound. And after a hot start in the second half from 3, Idaho has cooled. Montana State up 71-58. Only a minute to go in the ball game. Brown at the half-court line. Double. Fires to Patterson on the left wing. Back to Brown, turning down a shot, letting the clock wind. Back to Patterson, his pass tipped but recovered. Patterson is grabbed and a foul by Nigel Burris, his 3rd with 8 seconds on the shot clock, and Montana State going to the line here.
Yeah, and if you're going to take that foul, you might as well take that foul 22 seconds earlier, save yourself a shot. I think, the time is not going to allow Idaho to come back here, especially if the Bobcats make any free throws. But good effort by both teams. Bobcats just a little better defensively, a little tougher here in game 1.
Serving all your garage door needs, DoorTech is raising the door on quality. So 49.7 seconds to go. Montana State up 71-58 against Idaho. 4 players in double figures. Free throw by Patterson is no good. He missed it. And Montana State now 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Idaho with the ball to our left. Hand off on the left wing for Moffitt, working on Brown. Step back left wing 3. No. Rebound, one on the right side. Burst back up, blocked by Osobor. The Cats have the rebound, and they're going to be able to put this thing away with about a 5-second differential between the shot and game clocks. And Brown now fouled by Sully. All right, well, here you go. Even though Idaho got hot in the second half, they are now one of their last 8.
Yeah, and the Bobcat defense is what won this game, both down the stretch and overall. You hold Idaho to 28% from 3, a team shooting 37, and you held them to 41, a team shooting 50 plus.
They played with that extra energy. They won a lot of those 50-50 balls today. Front end from Brown is good. Great defense from Darius Brown today. He took the challenge against Moffitt head on. And yes, Moffitt got 19 points. He went 8 of 20 from the field, though. Moffitt's a guy who's shooting 51% from the field. Second free throw is no good. Idaho ahead into the front court. Shot clock is off with 20 seconds left. The topside 3 is short and out of bounds. So Montana State will be able to dribble this thing out. On the women's side, they lost to Idaho 72-53. Clock winding down, shot clock off. Montana State begins their title defense with a comfortable win against a revamped Idaho team. And a great crowd today to open up Big Sky play. Montana State rides their defense to a 72-58 victory. Montana State 8-6, Idaho 6-8, and the Cats are 1-0 in Big Sky play. Heck of a start for Montana State. Eastern Washington is up next on Saturday with a 2 o'clock tip-off. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock. We'll take a break. When we get back, we'll start the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. Montana State 72, Idaho 58. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Welcome to the post-game show presented by Rib and Chop House, home of premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs, all served in a casual atmosphere. Montana State winning it today 72-58 against Idaho to open up Big Sky play with a victory at 1-0. Montana State going to 8-6 overall, Idaho to 6-8, 0-1 in Big Sky play. And Brian, that is what a championship team looks like early out of the season.
Boy, that first half defensively was just an absolute clinic. I think Idaho was reeling. They came out in the second half and responded well. Both teams played well in the second half, played exactly even, but the Bobcats just too much out of the gates.
And what we saw from Idaho in that second half was kind of, I think, what we thought we would see from the Vandals in this game. But, you know, they're relatively, it's hard to say they're young because, like, by class they have guys with a lot of experience. But at the same time, they haven't had a lot of guys that have played the Big Sky.
Yeah, and then they haven't had a lot of guys that have played together. You've got your two best players are new to the program, so they're still figuring things out and other transfers and such. But they're going to be a team. That'll be a very tough game in Moscow when these two face off again, which is always the case. You learn so much about each other in game one. By the time you hit game two, it is no secrets allowed.
Yeah. So Montana State improves to 70-51 all time against Idaho in a series that dates back to 1917 when Montana State won 26-20 back there in the early 19th century. All right, we will take a break. Plenty to get to today as Montana State wins it 72-58. Back with more of the Rib and Chop House post-game show after this. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Back in the Rib and Chop House post-game show. Montana State winning it today 72-58 against Idaho. We're keeping an eye on Eastern Washington and Montana. Eastern Washington will be here on New Year's Eve on Saturday. And right now, Eastern Washington is up 79-75 at Montana with under 2 minutes to play. At Montana's Rib and Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you. Well, for Montana State, a comfortable and impressive win again today. The leading scorers for the Cats, Jabril Bello, 19 points. Tyler Patterson at 17. Raekwon Battle at 13 points in 13 and a half minutes. Great Osabor had another 10 points today on 5 of 6 shooting. And Tyler Patterson today was really the story. Brian, 6 of 11 from the field, 5 of 9 from the three-point line. All three-point field goals presented by Wendy's, but big-time breakout performance from the sophomore Tyler Patterson.
Yeah, really needed, and especially with the foul trouble to Raekwon Battle, for him to come out and really step up like he did, so huge. And it's one of those things that ultimately, hopefully, is a catalyst to get him going as, maybe turning the calendar in terms of league play just gives him a fresh set of eyes.
Well, that's the thing about the depth for Montana State. Even though Tyler Patterson has not been playing up to the level that he expects of himself, Montana State still has had so many guys around him that have been able to step up. And even today, with Raekwon Battle goes down with 2 fouls in the first 60 seconds of the ball game, and as a fan, you're not even really thinking about it because so many other guys are stepping up.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this Bobcat club is they've got some depth. They've got multiple guys that can score. They're spread really, really well out, and they aren't reliant totally on Jabril or Raekwon or whoever. Those guys do their damage every night, there's no doubt, but they aren't absolutely dependent on them like some teams, like, for example, Idaho has those 2 guys. They got to have those guys play well to have a chance.
Jabril Bello, man, 26 minutes, 19 points, 8 rebounds on 8 of 12 shooting. We're going to get Danny Sprinkle here in a moment. But, look, Jabril Bello, the reigning MVP, preseason MVP, he looked every bit of it today. And it's been kind of a steady climb for him all season long, and he is in the zone right now.
Yeah, no question. He had to get healthy for sure, and he clearly has gotten healthy, and you just see a different pep in his step as he moves here into league play.
All right, we're about to be joined here by Danny Sprinkles. Montana State wins it 72-58 over Idaho. And Coach, nice way to start the title defense with a victory, just the way you'd draw it up. But first and foremost, man, tell me about that defense in the first half. This is such a strong offensive team in Idaho, and you guys really kind of clipped their wings in the first 20 minutes.
There we go.
Got you now.
There we go. Yeah, no, I thought our guys were really locked in. They were locked into the scout. We did some different things that we hadn't done, and they were locked in. We had a couple breakdowns, but like Moffitt, he's a good player. He's really hard to guard in space, and he made some tough shots. We talked about them making them score over us. Like, don't let get to the rim, him and Jones, and just get easy layups. And so we wanted to make them score over us, and I thought we did a really good job of that. We let them get a couple threes late, which we got to clean up, especially when we were up. You can't give up threes. And so, but, I thought Jabril was tremendous tonight, and that's all I'll say about that. He was phenomenal, and he came with a point to prove. But I thought the game changed, too, with Tyler Patterson in the first half. I thought he was phenomenal, and he changed the way they had to guard us. Doubling down, and with him knocking, I think he had 4 threes in the first half. And that's what he does. We've been waiting for it, and that's what he does, and had 5 for the game. But I thought he was really good, and the guys, they just competed.
Bench in general was huge. It ended at 33-15 bench points, but it was at one point 33-7.
Yep.
So they scored a few at the very end of the game. Talk about guys, in addition to Tyler Patterson, Rob Ford came in, did a great job defensively on Moffitt for the most part, and other guys.
Yeah, no, did a really good job. And a lot of their threes they got late, we just kind of fell asleep, or we kind of overhelped. And, especially on the ball side, they got a couple threes there. But, I thought Rob did a really good job, because he's Moffitt's a load. He's got great size, he's quick, and, he's got little floaters in the lane. But, when you get him taking 20 shots, for us, that's good. Now we don't need him making 12 or 13 of them, but, 8 for 20, was a great job by our point guards.
Really felt like in the first half, the 50-50 balls, it felt like literally every one of them came down to somebody in a white jersey,
Yep.
Loose ball, there's 3 guys on the floor. Felt like just the intensity and effort was a team that, was pretty locked in, like you said.
Yeah, no, and, before the game I kept telling, you got to set the rules. Nobody comes in here and sets the rules. You got to dictate the way this game's going to be played the first 5 minutes. And, I think there was a couple, like you said, a couple scrums early, and we came up with the basketball. And even in the second half, even once we didn't come, we'd have 2 guys, diving, making the effort. And so we're going to need that Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it looks like you might be going against a 1-0 Eastern Washington team if they hold on to a 5-point lead with about 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, no, they're just really good. They're really well coached. They ran the same stuff for 10 years, and it's really hard to guard. They got a tremendous shooter, Steele Venters. They got bigs. They had the kid that was freshman of the year, Ethan Price, and they have some really good transfers in there too. And so, they're a load. They're big. They're strong. They're physical, and we're going to need another effort like tonight.
Beautiful. Looking forward to it. Congrats on the win, Coach.
You bet. Thanks.
All right, head coach Danny Sprink. We'll take a break on the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. Montana State wins it 72-58 over Idaho. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Montana State winning it today 72-58 against Idaho. Montana's Ribbon Chop House has been serving Rocky Mountain communities for over 20 years. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. We hope you'll be our guest at one of our Montana locations soon. Let's take a look at the First Interstate Bank scoreboard today. First Interstate Bank, home of Bobcat Banking, and a couple of finals in the books already. Idaho State waxes Northern Arizona 79-53. Brian, that's a big surprise. That's a lopsided score in favor of Idaho State.
Yeah, I mean, two teams predicted to be at the near the bottom. They in the non-conference were 9-10, but to see Idaho State do it with that kind of margin is really surprising.
And then Northern Colorado, a team that a lot of people expect to be near the top, they lose at Weber State. Weber State's a good team, though, 81-72. So Weber State pretty in control in that game.
Yeah, they were, and I think it was Jones had 25 and 13. So it was one of those things where I think Weber State got them at home, and that's going to be a good two good teams, frankly, as we move forward.
And Montana State's going to Northern Colorado and Northern Arizona next week for their first road trip, so that Northern Colorado game will be tough. Meanwhile, out in Missoula, Eastern Washington up 86-80 over Montana in the final 30 seconds. A late desperation heave was no good from Montana, so looks like Eastern Washington is just about sewing that thing up. So Eastern Washington, another solid team, but Montana unable to protect that home floor, looks like.
Yeah, and Eastern's coming now. They walk into that winning 5 of their last 7. Now make it 6 of their last 8 if they finish this off. And so they're a team that started slow, had to get going, just kind of like this Idaho team, but still has got some things going at this point, obviously.
So Eastern Washington coming up next on Saturday. All right, we'll take another break here. We still got plenty to get to. We'll get you highlights from this ball game. We'll continue to look ahead a little bit to Eastern Washington and put a bow on the first Big Sky win of the year. Cats win it 72-58 over Idaho in the Big Sky Conference opener. This is the Ribbon Chop House post-game show, and you're listening to Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Cool. All right. And you good with that computer for the highlights? Okay. No rush. No rush. No rush. We can talk about something else in the next segment.
Ball game in Missoula.
And we got the delivery of the game, too, which we'll get to.
Yeah, delivery of the game.
It could be whatever we want. It could be like a player of the game. I mean, it could be Patterson. It could be. You can be creative with it if you want. You can do however you want. Montana State victorious today, 72-58 against Idaho. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside Brian Preby in the Ribbon Chop House postgame show. I believe we still need to get you a station ID for the top of the hour here, so let's take care of that homework here. Let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Bobcat Basketball. Again, I'm Keaton Galogly along with Brian Preby. John O'Connor back in the studios as Montana State wins it 72-58. All right, Brian, up next, let's get to our McDonald's delivery of the game, presented by your locally owned and operated McDonald's of Montana. What do you got?
I think we got to go with our boy Tyler Patterson. 5 threes on the night, but the 4 in the first half really were difference makers and set the tone with Raekwon Battle in foul trouble. So we'll give Tyler Patterson the delivery of the game.
Well-earned bounce-back performance from Tyler Patterson. Love to see it. Very, very well done by the sophomore. Time to look ahead to the Bobcats' next game versus Eastern Washington on Saturday for a 2 o'clock tip. We'll be on the air at 1:30, presented by Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK and cataract surgeon of the Montana State Bobcats. And Brian, that's an Eastern Washington team that'll come in at 1-0 in Big Sky play after an 87-80 win at Montana tonight.
Yeah, and Eastern obviously has been playing well, won 5 of their last 7. They just absolutely dominated the Grizz at the free throw line. They shot 30 of 34 from the line. The Grizz only had 21 attempts on the game. They were just just a little bit too much in terms of their scoring. Out of their 87, they got 6 guys in double figures, 1 guy with 2, and 3 guys did not score. So 6 guys scored 85 of the 87 in Missoula tonight.
And absolutely dominated the glass. Eastern Washington out-rebounded them 45-28 in that ball game, and Eastern Washington scored 50 points in the second half. So that is what will invade the brick on Saturday as Montana State goes for the home winning record. So Montana State, if they win on Saturday, that'd be their 15th consecutive home win. That would tie the program record, which was set back in the 86-87 season. So pretty special opportunity for the Bobcats. All of a sudden, we could see the men's basketball team and the football team both in possession currently of the longest home winning streaks in program history.
Big time achievement. You're talking about 100 years of college basketball to break any record that old is incredible.
All right, we'll take one more break on the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. When we get back, we'll get you a full rundown of the scoring and some highlights from the Montana State victory today over Idaho, winning 72-58. More of the Ribbon Chop House post-game show after this. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. To 58. All right, up next, let's catch the highlights. Let's catch the highlights of the ball game presented by First Security Bank, and we can hear those right now. So those were your highlights presented by First Security Bank. All right, Brian, first Big Sky game is done. Montana State looked like a defending champ. They win 72-58. Get to do it all again on Saturday against Eastern Washington, who has defeated Montana. That game starts at 2 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 1:30, so you have plenty of time to get to your New Year's Eve plans after that ball game. But healthy win for Montana State. Great crowd today, and things are setting up pretty nicely here for the Cats.
Yeah, it's a good start to conference play, and you want to start 2-0 in league, especially since you're starting at home. And Eastern obviously has shown they're formidable. To go into Missoula and win in Dahlberg is never easy. So obviously they're ready to rock and roll, and they're going to be bringing it out here 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So it should be a fun one. I'd expect a really nice crowd here of Bobcat fans supporting this team, and that'll just continue throughout the January, February Big Sky play.
No doubt. So about 3,100 today. The official attendance was 3,172. So for Montana State today, they shot 49% from the field, 9 of 18 from the three-point line, and 9 of 13 from the free throw line. Idaho, 40% from the field, 5 of 19 from the three-point line, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. For the Cats today, 18 assists on 27 field goals. All assists presented by Aware Mental Health Services. The 9 threes presented by Wendy's. Cats had 8 turnovers, 5 steals, 4 blocks in this ball game, and Montana State with 32 points in the paint, and they scored 20 points off turnovers. Idaho had only 6, so Montana State only 8 turnovers in this ball game. That's pretty good work. Cats out rebounded the Vandals 33-31. Individually, Jabril Bello, the leader, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. 8 of 12 from the field in this ball game. 17 points from Tyler Patterson, 6 of 11 overall, 5 of 9 from downtown. Big breakout game for Patterson. Raekwon battled 13 points in 13 minutes on 5 of 9 shooting. He had some foul trouble early, but came on strong in that second half. 10 points from Osabor on 5 of 6 shooting. 3 points for Robert Ford, who also had 2 assists, no turnovers, and 4 rebounds to go along with 2 steals. 3 points for Sam Lecolot, 6 for Darius Brown, who also had 3 assists, no turnovers, and how about 7 rebounds for Darius Brown today. 19 points from Devontae Moffitt, 11 points from Nigel Burris, 10 from Trey Smith, 5 from Rashad Smith, 5 from John Harge, and Isaac Jones only 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting, the leading scorer in Big Sky play. All right, any other final thoughts? You good, Brian?
We're good. Let's get a W on Saturday.
All right, we'll talk to you on Saturday. That'll wrap up the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. John O'Connor back in the studios today. Appreciate him as our producer. Thank you to head coach Janie Sprinkle for joining us both before and after the ball game today. For Brian Preby, this is Keaton Gallogly saying so long. It's been a pleasure to be with you today, and looking forward to talking to you on Saturday for the 2 o'clock tip-off. And don't forget, this week we will bring out the Bobcat Insider podcast. We're taping that on Monday. The Bobcat Insider TV show will air at 9 o'clock on Tuesday night. That's on the CW, and we'll have our first live Cat Chat at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday night over at the Ribbon Chop House. And both of those shows will have both Danny and Trisha with us. So hope you have a chance to tune in for all that content, including our game coming up on Saturday. Final score for a final time today, Montana State takes down Idaho 72-58. This is Bobcat basketball from Learfield. Sounds good. Thanks, brother.